Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Atypical Security Guard, finishing up my shift, heading home, and want to talk about a situation that happened on Thursday. I heard about this right as I was getting into work this morning. Fort Wayne, Indiana, a guy, I believe, approximately 22 years of age, goes into a Kroger grocery store and is live streaming. I don't know if he was live streaming on Facebook, if he was live streaming on YouTube, but he was live streaming on a social media platform. And he is telling the people that are watching his live stream that he wants to shoot someone, that he's always wanted to be in a situation where he's basically dreamt of doing this. So he's literally walking around. Give me 1 second here. Let me get my light a little bit brighter. Hang on. Hold that thought. There we go. All right, give me a second here. All right, so this guy is literally live streaming while he's walking through a Kroger grocery store. Apparently, his firearm was completely visible, and most people were oblivious to the fact that he's walking through the store. He gets into, I believe, the bakery area and fires off 3 or 4 shots. Luckily, by the grace of God, he's a bad aim. He doesn't hit anyone. And then he's apprehended not too far from the store shortly after. Now, I have come on here and I've talked about the fact that I work for a grocery chain that is in the Kroger family. I've come on here in the last week and I've talked about the fact that if you were to look at the last, I would say 10 major mass shootings, 4, if not 5 of them have either been in grocery stores or convenience stores or a combination of both. This just further proves my point. So many times we've had smooth brain, mouth breathing idiots who have had something to say about the fact that working in this environment, working in this situation for the companies that I work for, why we're wearing armor, why we're carrying multiple magazines, why we are dressed the way that we're dressed. And it is simply because this is the threat, along with many other viable threats that we deal with on a daily basis. This just goes right along part and parcel with what I continually preach on this channel about the issues that we deal with in armed security, primarily working within the company that I work for. Now, I want to talk about a few tips that I think most people are not aware of when it comes to surviving something like this. The people that were in the Fort Wayne, Indiana Kroger that were luckily not hit by this person, it's by the grace of God. There are certain things that I'm going to tell you guys that you should be talking to your loved ones about. Definitely if you have, women in your life, whether it's your wife, your girlfriend, your daughters. If you have elderly parents or older parents, these are things that you should be telling them as well. I'm going to give you guys some tips and some pointers to survive a situation like this should you encounter it. Every single situation like this where there is a potential mass shooter, it will not work out in everyone's favor like this situation did. Before I get into the tips of survival, I do want to say this. I've had my YouTube streams cut off for things that I've said. I've had my YouTube streams cut off because I had firearms visible while live streaming, and I've had YouTube streams cut off because I had a firearm in my hand. It blows my mind, no pun intended, that a person that is literally live streaming a potential mass shooting is not cut off. That is a slight rant. I won't go any further. I just wanted to say that. So what are some things that you guys can do and some things that you can tell people in your family to help survive a potential mass shooting that would happen in a grocery store? Number 1, situational awareness. I know it's overstated, it's oversaid, it's played out. I say it on every single video. And there's a reason for that. Because situational awareness is the number one thing that is going to keep you safe. It's going to keep you safe in a grocery store. It's going to keep you safe at the gas station. It's going to keep you safe at your local concert, movie theater, any situation that you or your loved one might find yourself in. You have to constantly preach situational awareness, because what gets most people caught up, what gets most people fucked up in the game, is that they're simply not aware of their surroundings. Women specifically have gotten into this mode. Now, I don't know if this is something that is happening all across the country or it's just here in Portland, but I see women every single day at the grocery store with full-on headphones over both ears. Full-on headphones over both ears. I'm assuming that this is being done because, unfortunately, for most women, you can't just simply go to the grocery store without dudes trying to holler at you, right? I understand it. You want to tune people out. You want to just go about your day. You don't want to be bothered. But by putting on those headphones over both ears, you are completely cutting yourself off from everything that's happening around you. You're not able to hear the person that is walking up behind you. You're not able to hear the person that's approaching your car. You're definitely not able to hear the gunshots that are happening in the bakery that would signal to you that it's time to get the F out of the store. I understand. I have 3 daughters. I have a beautiful wife. I understand the desire to shut everything out and just focus about your day, just go on about your day and not have to worry about someone trying to get your phone number, someone trying to talk to you, someone trying to rope you into a conversation. I get it. But you can't allow yourself to completely cut off all of your audible sensory abilities when you're in these grocery stores and in these convenience stores. The fact that you hear something might be the only warning that you get that something is potentially happening or that something is happening. Okay? Number 2, and this goes right along with situational awareness. Anytime that you guys are going to a grocery store, anytime that you're going to a convenience store, anytime that you're going to a shopping mall, whenever you're putting yourself inside of a facility, look at your exits, not just the one that you just came in through. Look around for potential places for you to hide, potential places for you to get out of that environment if you have to quickly. Understand where your emergency exits are. Understand where any potential stock rooms, store rooms, places for you to hide. 2B would be to understand concealment and cover. What is the difference between concealment and cover? Concealment is something that gives you an opportunity to hide. Concealment does not often offer a protective barrier from bullets, right? I'm trying to choose my words here so I don't get a strike or a flag on this video, all right? I want to keep spitting. Concealment will give you, Concealment will give you an opportunity to hide from a potential attacker, right? Cover will give you the opportunity to be in a position where potentially those rounds, those bullets are not able to penetrate. You need to understand the difference between the two, concealment and cover. Where can you hide? That is going to be concealment. Where can you hide where potentially a bullet will not be able to penetrate? That is going to be cover, right? Finding those pillars, finding those areas in the store that are maybe reinforced. This would be like your dairy coolers behind the walls that are maybe behind the meat counter. Finding those areas where potentially you could go if you have to and you can't get out of the store. Very important. Okay, number 3, and this is the part where everyone wants to log off, everyone wants to stop listening. You have got to start conceal carrying. If you're not in a position to personally protect yourself, if you're not in a position to potentially protect your family or protect the people that are with you. You are at the mercy of the person that has decided on that day to do harm to whomever they choose. It's just like what that guy said on his live stream. I want to kill someone today. I want to see what it feels like. I want to see what it looks like. That was his decision. And he played eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and made the decision that at the snap of his finger, he was going to potentially end someone's life. If you allow yourself to be situationally aware, you understand where your entrances are, where your exits are, you understand where you can hide and also where you can find cover, so that if, God forbid, rounds are coming towards you, you're able to be behind a protective barrier that protects you. But ultimately, if you do not have the potential or the tools necessary to meet that same level of aggression, to meet that same level of violence, you are at the whim of the person that has made the decision to do harm on that day. Guys, the police, even if they choose to get there, even if they choose to come, even if they make every attempt to get there, they still have to get there. The only person who is going to be there when the act happens is you. If you're a guy, it's you. If you're a female, it's you. If you're an elderly person, it's you. You are your own first responder, and you are the only person at that moment that is going to be able to do something about the situation that you find yourself in. Now, a lot of places are gun-free zones. It is said that the store in question had a huge no guns allowed sign. You need to understand the difference between policies, rules, and laws. I am not here to tell you to break any of those. But what I am going to tell you is you need to look into what you are legally bound to uphold when it comes to rules, policies, and laws. And do with that information what you will. But if you make the decision, if you make the choice that protecting yourself with a firearm is something that you don't want to do, I'm perfectly pro-choice. And I'm not going to begrudge you that. But I do want you to understand that if you decide to go down that path, you have literally no opportunity to save yourself if you find yourself in this situation. And each and every one of us, guys, we have to get groceries. Each and every one of us, we have to buy our weekly needs, right? Unless you're going to just have everything delivered to you, you're going to have to be in this environment. And this is one area where historically over the last 5 to 6 years, it is constantly being attacked. It's constantly being taken advantage of. And the numbers are not in our favor that we're not going to experience some level of violence at a grocery store. I've been working in this environment for the past 4 years, and I have personally seen or bared witness to, I can tell you, 5 shootings. 5 shootings in 4 years. I'm damn near 50 years old, and I spent 6 years in the military. I've seen more shootings in my time working at a grocery store than I've seen in my entire adult life and the entirety of the time that I was in the military, not counting war. So let's recap. Number 1, take the headphones off. Be aware of your surroundings. Be able to hear what is happening. Number 2, situational awareness, understanding where your exits are, where your entrances are, what is happening around you, right? 2B was to understand your difference between cover and concealment. Concealment hides you. Cover protects you, okay? After that was accepting the reality that you are your own first responder. You have to be willing. You don't have to. I always say that. You don't have to. I it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating to be at a point in our time here in our country where common sense just does not mean anything anymore. Like, what's supposed to be up is now down. What is supposed to be down is now up. And in situations like this, a person that goes into a grocery store that has a big "no guns allowed" sign on it, that does not push people to realize that they have to protect themselves. And another political side is going to say, see, this is why we need more gun control. Instead of saying, obviously, criminals aren't following the law. Obviously, criminals aren't following the "no guns allowed" sign, right? And clearly the police have to get there. The logical deduction from all of that is, if you want to protect yourself and stop the threat, you have to be willing to meet that violence with an equal level of force. And I know that that's scary. I get it. Guys, I don't want to be in a gunfight any more than anybody else. I don't look for it. I don't wish for it. I don't want to be in that situation or that environment. But I understand that that's the only thing that's going to stop that situation from happening. Whether that's with me at work or me in my life, right? And I've gotten that across to my wife after 8 years. But for so many other people, this is just like a brick wall that you cannot get them to get through or over. And it's frustrating because people consistently and people continue to find themselves in situations where they have to be a victim. And some of you live in states and cities where your state and your city wants you to be a victim. They don't even give you the opportunity to carry to protect yourself. And that's equally frustrating, right? So, now that I've gone on my little rant there, this stuff is not going to get any better, guys. It's only going to get worse. You have to be able to protect yourself. If you're not going to protect yourself, you have to be aware of what's happening. Please talk to your family members. Please talk to the women that's in your life. Please talk to your kids, and please talk to your older parents. And try to get across to them the importance of being situationally aware in these grocery stores. Guys, it's not a joke. It's not a game. It's happening more and more. It's happening more often. And I think that as we get closer to the election, as we get closer to just all of this unrest, it's only going to get worse. So please reach out to your family members and try to talk to them and get them, at the very least, to just be aware that this is a threat. Okay? Oh, Lord. All right. Ton of comments here. PBE, what's up, brother? Yeah, that dude was crazy, right? Security guard Big Boss 80 says, hello, brother, from South Texas. I miss Texas. I did my military time in Texas, right? Let's see here. Yeah, says, are you a cop or a security guard? My channel is called the Security Guard channel. Bro Morris, the fact that people are wearing headphones and buds while walking in public drives me crazy. Absolutely, yes. Cover stops bullet. Concealment merely hides you from the line of sight. Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Bro Morris says you do not get to choose when violence happens. Absolutely. Big Dog asks what state I'm in. I'm in the state of Oregon. I live in Portland. I work in Portland. Josh Allen, thank you for your service. Absolutely. My pleasure. Vincent Mills says, thank you for your service. I was Air Force and Army. Yeah, when I got out of the Air Force, I actually thought about going back after a couple years, and I was going to go into the Army. I wish I did, man. You know what? 2 regrets: that I didn't stay in the Air Force and that I didn't go back into the Army. I looked at getting into the Army in 2014. I should have fucking done it. Yep. All right. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. Let me think. Anything else? Take off the headphones. Be situationally aware. Protect yourself. Know your exits. Know places where you can hide. Cover and concealment. Concealment hides you. Cover protects you. And understand that this threat is real. It's happening more and more. Okay. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Be careful. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be great.